China and India. Not the most obvious movie relationship I could imagine. Speaking of relationships, is this a kung fu movie with romantic elements, or a romance movie with kung fu scenes? This leaves me with many questions. Which country actually made this film, and what's the genre? Hi, I'm the Artie Dance from Asian Film Fans, and let's check out the Indian-Chinese romantic action movie LADKI, Enter the Girl Dragon. Pooja loves Bruce Lee. Obsessively loves Bruce Lee. After rescuing a photographer being attacked by a few thugs, she joins a martial arts dojo to fine-tune her self-taught skills. Falling deep in love with the photographer, they go on a trip to Foshan to the land of Bruce Lee. But back in India, her dojo and master are under threat from a vile property manager. After his accidental death, Pooja and the other students decide they want to avenge his death, resulting in a showdown with the evil developer. This movie desperately tries to channel Bruce Lee, specifically, and it's obvious from the title, the movie Enter the Dragon. The problem is that Enter the Dragon is not a romance movie, it's about a tournament on an island run by a sadistic villain. The only thing this movie has in common with Enter the Dragon is that the person who did the music for this film has clearly taken inspiration from it, with many of the tracks playing in the background being remixes or inspired by it, specifically the theme song. So if you know the theme song of Enter the Dragon, you'll spot it here all over the place. So it's got decent music, and being an Indian film, it also has some Indian pop music, where the actors just start making a music video in the middle of the film for no reason. Kinda out of place to be honest, but essentially in this film, it doubles as a training and character development montage. The lead actress, Pooja Bhalekar, does a decent enough job with showing off her talents. The problem is I'm not sure which talents she wanted to show off versus the talents the director wanted to show off. She's listed as the fight choreographer, so clearly she knows how to fight, and it's obvious when you watch the film. The director had a different thought though. Channeling her modelling background, Pooja's assets, in other words her chest, backside and crotch, are frequently on leery display more than her fighting skills. I'm obviously being sarcastic here, but it felt like there was more boob shots in the first half of the movie rather than her face. It's a bit ridiculous to be honest, and I usually like watching these type of things. One actual positive with the film is that the actor Tianlong Shi, who plays the dojo master and his identical twin brother in Foshan, looks suspiciously like Bruce Lee. It's obvious why he was cast in the film, it's just a shame he was forced to speak very awkward English. I'd be steering well clear of this film if action is what you're after. It's not that the action's bad, far from it. It's just that the action plays second fiddle to the romance, and the romance element's just off-putting, probably because I wanted an action movie. And while the action's not bad, it's not great either. For some reason, the director has decided that Pooja's fight scenes needed to be in slow motion, especially in the first half of the movie. This means her fights are dragged out and don't feel right. It also makes me feel like it's used to highlight a possible lack of skill, either in herself or the extras used for the scenes. Fights are also rather one-sided. She might take one or two hits in a fight, but otherwise she just dominates every fight against a bunch of mindless drones who just stand around waiting to get hit. Her fight with Miya isn't much better either. Miya is a Chinese actress seen in Jackie Chan's Vanguard, but her role is so tiny here, forced to be a slow-mo sparring partner for a fight that happens on a yin-yang platform covered in 6 inches of water. All I could think about while watching this fight was the discomfort of fighting with wet shoes. But the movie is so leery. You feel almost dirty watching it. As mentioned, Pooja's body is on display more than her fighting skills, but the dialogue, especially towards the treatment of women, borderlines on just ridiculous. In real life, I'm not an evil villain, so maybe that's why it feels strange to me. But do people actually say some of these things mentioned in the film? It's really poor writing. Essentially, rather than create a villain with some depth who's loathsome for being evil, the writer's gone down the viral path and just filled it with sexually aggressive dialogue. On top of that is that all the goons in the film are also shown in the same way, solidifying my opinion that the writer just really had no idea how to write good villains. Even the villain's brother is a caricature. He is weak, goofy, and idiotic. This is not a good film. This is not how you make a girl power movie. When the girls are relegated to eye candy and objects of harassment, there's nothing here to enjoy for the average punter. With that in mind, the movie scores 2 stars. Interestingly, I watched the edited Chinese version of the film, which was specifically made for Chinese cinema. It comes in a little bit shorter than the Indian release, but somehow I very much doubt the extra length of the Indian version could save this film. There are better Indian action movies out there, even kung fu ones. Watch this only for Pooja and her talents. If you've seen this, what did you think of it? Thank you for watching this review. Please press the like button if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more Asian action movie trailers, reviews and news.